So I was looking at the Idaho Statesman today in the business section, and out of the top 8 most popular stories, 7 of them today were about businesses closing. I thought that was pretty interesting. It seems like competition is heating up in Boise, and with the economy, right? It just gets to this point where you kind of can't stand still, right? Like you're either growing or dying, right? My dad used to always say that business is like being on a treadmill, right? So if you're even just trying to go forward, you might be neutral. You really have to be going forward if you want to make progress. And if you stop, you're going backwards. So I always felt like that was an apt analogy. So that's interesting that all these businesses are closing. They can't get enough revenue in the door. And at the same time, I feel like private equity is chomping at the bit to start investing here because of Boise's characteristics. I think this is actually a really good place to be growing a business right now, especially if you do things right. So contrast that. I also had a story. It's not really a contrast. I guess it's similar, of a gentleman I talked to yesterday, and he's already hired 2 or 3 different companies to do marketing for him that said they were going to get him leads. He was paying them monthly. And then at the end of the day, they didn't get him any leads. None. For months. And it's funny to me because I feel like I pride myself on trying to not be a salesman. I don't like trying to convince somebody to do something that they don't want to do. And so I'm probably a lot more lax, maybe not lackadaisical, but chill. You know, I like helping people understand concepts. I like helping people learn, but at the same time, I don't like to push. And so contrast that to these organizations that are really good at sales. And that's what I see in the marketing landscape, especially in SEO, which I like, is really good sales operations, right? And it's funny that once somebody is sold, the amount of pain that they have to go through to finally cut ties is enormous. And I just went through this myself. I think most of us like to be sold. And the person I've been working with for a long time that sold me on their idea, and they've done a really good job at delivering, but the results that I expected from that delivery have not come. So I finally had to kind of cut the ties. But it's just interesting to me the amount of pain we have to go through to finally wake up and realize, like, I made a bad decision here. I got to get out of it. And it's funny that it goes kind of both ways. It's also, I feel like, hard for people to stay in something that is working and working well. So I always try to give things at least 6 months, maybe a year before I make any big changes. And especially, in marketing, because some things do take time, but you have to know what to look out for, right? So this individual, right, has been paying for marketing, getting no results, none. And it really kind of leads me to the funnel and how people just don't really understand the funnel and how the funnel works for local businesses and for getting leads. So let's talk about the funnel real quick. All right. Funnel. It's this kind of a shape. You have a top, right, where if you were going to be putting something into the funnel, they start at the top, they go down, and then they come out the bottom where it's much, much smaller. And this is a marketing metaphor for getting clients. And so a lot of these people who start these ad campaigns on Facebook or Nextdoor, I don't even know if they're running them there or even deeper third-party sites. These are top of funnel. These are people who didn't know they wanted HVAC services, and then you gave them an ad, and now you have to get them from I didn't really think about HVAC today all the way down to I want to buy an HVAC. That's hard. So where do you want to start? If you're a new business or you're trying to drum up some really quality leads, I always would start with local service ads. You can basically do them yourself. I'll help you set them up if you need some help. It's like a few steps, and then you have leads coming in right now that are bottom of funnel. People who are searching for, I need HVAC repairs today, please. Like, how much more targeted could you get? They're not even necessarily more or less expensive than these other type of top of funnel. I mean, a top of funnel, something like Facebook, you're going to have to go through and test different options. And I'm talking about local services, I think, more than anything else. It's different with, if you're selling t-shirts or something, that might be different. But for a local service business, you're going to have to test a lot of different ad copy. It's going to take a lot of failures. Is there a potential there? Yes. Even Google Ads. Google Ads is very bottom of funnel, right? Like, I need HVAC repair services today, please. That's a bottom of funnel. But with Google Ads, standard Google Ads, you still have to pick the keywords that you want to show up. You got to pick the different ad copy. There's still a lot of testing there. Whereas with Google LSA ads, you literally turn them on. You don't get to choose what it says. It just shows your business, shows your reviews, and it says, do you want to message me or call me? The other bottom of funnel that you should be getting to work on is SEO. There's nothing more bottom of funnel than number one, somebody searching for, I need HVAC repairs today, please. And then your company shows up for basically no cost, at least no ad cost, right? And they want to do business with you. And then down the road, as you do a good job, now you have people who aren't searching for that. They're just searching for your business. If your name is Boise HVAC Repairs, then they're searching for Boise HVAC Repairs. So the landscape, though, is getting more competitive. Now, here's the one thing that people can do that they don't want to do that can make the biggest difference in their business. Getting a name that is a searchable name. Rebranding your business to a search. It's so dumb that this works so well, but it has worked this so well for years, and it will apparently continue to work very well. So once again, if people are searching for, and you have to know what people are searching for, you got to do your diligence here. You have to understand SEO. You have to understand search. You have to be able to find the right name. So don't just pick any name. But if people are searching for HVAC repairs, and let's say Boise HVAC repairs, and your name is Boise HVAC repairs, then when people search for Boise HVAC repairs, you're going to show up, or you have a much higher likelihood to show up. Now, if your URL, your domain, the name that people type in, right, is Boise HVAC repairs, and that matches your name, you have this golden trifecta to rank for those terms. So you have to find terms that work. You got to find an area. If you want to do HVAC repairs, I actually wouldn't start in Boise. I'd probably go to Nampa or Middleton, right? So you want to pick the right market. You want to pick the right terms. You want to get the right URL. But if you can start your business branding that way and you have that advantage, you're going to dominate on Google Maps, which is where service businesses do really well, right? 50, 60% of your clients are never going to go to your website, okay? They're just going to go straight from Google Maps. And a big portion of them are just on their mobile phones. They just want to call you. So these are some things you can do to get an advantage over your competition so that when somebody's going out of business, it's not you. So that's my 2 cents on this whole Idaho Statesman, businesses, people going out of business, Idaho becoming more competitive, right? And so, it's just about doing this in the service area. It's about doing the right things consistently, staying consistent. That's how you win. It's really not difficult. I think the hardest part is, once again, this is one of my favorite quotes. If all you had to do to become a millionaire was wake up and press a red button every day, most of your competitors, they're not going to do that. They're not going to keep getting reviews. They're not going to have somebody they're not going to be posting on their Google business profile every week consistently. They're not going to be responding to those reviews quickly, right? They're not going to be putting up new photos. They're going to get sick of it. They don't want to push the button, right? All you got to do is endure. It's not about doing a lot of things at once. It's about doing this amount of good things every single week. Someone like me, I can't make your business good, but I can amplify it. And someone like you probably don't have time to do all the extra things that someone like me would do to get your business listing up. That's why I focus on Google business listings and getting them up, right? So it's about doing those right things over and over again consistently. So that's what I got. We'll see you tomorrow.